P.A.S. Made of Iron by Awesome Victory 22. Read by My Lost and Found. Summary. Peter Parker only has two things from before Ben and May: a lullaby that he cannot find anywhere on the internet, and a watch with strange engravings. As usual, hanging out with the Avengers unveils secrets and truths about the past. Spoilers in the tags. This fic is about 2,600 words and one chapter. It is not rated and no archive warnings apply. As always, link to the fic is in the description. And on with the story. Tony sat in the meeting room, fiddling with a golden watch. He ran his fingers along the engravings. A.E.S. Made of iron, it read. To anyone else, the engraving might seem like it was referring to the material the watch was made from, or the fact that Iron Man was wearing it. To Anthony Edward Stark, it reminded him of his legacy. Stark men are made of iron, his father had said. Stark men don't cry. When he had a son himself, he made sure the saying had a different meaning. That Stark men are strong, like iron, but strong means different things to different people. His son had a matching watch, but his was engraved with P.A.S. Made of iron. Peter Anthony Stark. His son was the best thing that had ever happened to him. A tear made its way down Tony's cheek. He quickly stood up and walked out of the meeting room. The other Avengers paused mid-sentence to watch him leave. He walked until he was standing outside a familiar door, one he never had the guts to open. He leaned against the wall, then slid down so that his head was between his knees. He stayed there for what felt like hours and focused on breathing. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. Hey, you okay, Tony? Tony startled at the voice. He slowly looked up into the eyes of Bucky Barnes. No. He hadn't meant to say that. Oh, well, you could see it on his face anyways. Besides, no one on the team was ever really okay. Can I do anything? Do you want me to leave, or do you want some company? You can stay, if you want. Bucky turned around and sat next to the mechanic, leaning his head against the wall. They sat like that for what felt like hours. Tony continued to fiddle with his watch. You know, my memory is still not the best, but I could have sworn I've seen that watch before. You haven't. Tony closed his eyes. I made it myself. Only one other like it, and it's probably at the bottom of the ocean. At the bottom of the ocean? Yeah, I made it for my son. He went missing at the beach when he was 2. Tony didn't know why he was telling Bucky this, but for some reason, he didn't stop. Oh, I'm sorry I brought it up. Kids are too pure for the bad things that happen to them. Why do you say that? Hydra, and later on the Red Room, used to put the Winter Soldier on babysitting duty. The programming left no room for annoyance or impatience with the little ones. I trained and took care of Natasha at one point. Is that why you two hold up and sing nursery rhymes together after missions sometimes? Yeah, the kids came up with it, and the programming didn't cover songs, apparently, so Winter taught it to every other kid he took care of. It sort of broke the programming, and let me be kinder and remember more. Bucky started to hum, then began the song. Come cuddle in, snuggle close, my dear. It's okay, it's alright. Winter's almost here. Darkness and danger round each corner. But when you're in my arms, it's always warmer. When eyes are clouded and he can see, we come and we sing so that he can be free. Da-da-dee-da-dum. We'll just keep waiting till winter comes. Peter continued to ask to come on missions. Germany hadn't ended in a fight, and so he hadn't been able to prove his worth. The fact that Tony even thought of him had to count for something, though, right? So when Happy called, Peter jumped on the chance to go on an Avengers mission. Maybe he shouldn't have been so insistent. He was sitting on one of the couches in the Avengers common room, bone tired, but wound so tight that all he could do was curl up and rock back and forth. The Hydra base they had raided was hauntingly familiar. He hated it, and now he was spiraling on the couch of the most powerful people in the world. All he seemed to be proving was that he was too weak to handle anything, and so there was no way he was going to dig himself a deeper hole by doing what he needed to in order to calm down. "Hey, Rue, how's it going?" "I'm fine," Peter mumbled. "Kid, you are the opposite of fine. Uncurl so that Bruce can give you a quick check-over." "I'm not weak." Natasha sighed, then stood. She made her way over to Peter. "Malenki poke. It's okay to be rattled by something like that. We aren't going to judge you for whatever you need to do after a mission. Tony tinkers. Clint finds a high spot. Bucky and I cuddle up to feel safe. Do whatever you need to do." "I'm worried you'll think I'm even more of a kid." "It's true that we were upset at your age when it first came out, but we just want to keep you safe. After the Vulture incident, almost every Avenger winced. We realize that we can't stop you. Do whatever you need to do. We want you to feel safe, and I promise we won't judge you." Natasha stood up from where she was kneeling in front of Peter. "I'm going to get you a glass of water." Peter rested his head against the back of the couch and closed his eyes. He sighed, then began to sing. "Come cuddle in, snuggle close, my dear." Peter's voice wavered, but he continued. "It's okay, it's all right. Winter's almost here." The glass of water that Natasha had been bringing back slipped out of her hand and shattered on the floor. "Darkness and danger round each corner, but when you're in my arms, it's always warmer." Natasha locked eyes with Bucky. They both made their way over to sit next to Peter. They chimed in on the third verse. "When eyes are clouded and he can't see, we come and we sing so that he can be." Peter kept his eyes closed, but a tear made its way down his cheek. Tony stared at the trio in horror. "Free, just keep waiting till winter comes. Every person in the room dared not make a sound until Peter opened his eyes. You said you guys wouldn't judge. We're not judging, Bucky said shakily. It's just that. Bucky didn't finish his sentence. Peter, where did you learn that song? Natasha looked like she was on the verge of tears. It's one of my only memories from before Ben and May. A hand on my shoulder, but it was cold, and the song, it makes me feel safe. Bucky hesitantly put his metal arm around Peter. Like this? Peter blinked, and then all but melted into Bucky. Exactly, he hummed. Peter, that's the song I taught the kids at Hydra. Peter's eyes flew open, and he tensed, but he stayed tucked into Bucky's side. What? Pete, were you a Hydra kid? Natasha asked, her usual indifferent mask melting away to reveal sadness and horror. I don't remember anything other than the song from before Ben and May. May always said that Ben was a police officer, but I went through his stuff after he died. He was a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. May said that he just brought me home one day, insisting that I was Mary and Richard's son. I looked it up once. Mary and Richard didn't have a son. Why the Tony glanced at Peter. Fudge, would Hydra want a kid under 5? Experimentation is my guess. That's probably why the spider bite didn't kill you. Bucky aimed that last part at Peter. Well, I guess you get to join the Hydra effed up our lives gang. We meet on Wednesdays to sing and commiserate, Natasha added. Peter gave a feeble smile. Maybe he wasn't weak. After all, the two most feared assassins sang the same lullaby. While the song was the only memory he had, he also had one keepsake from before. Hey, kid, you still there? Yep, Mr. Stark, I'm here. Did you understand anything I just said? There's an award ceremony for the Avengers? And you're invited. You have a suit? Mr. Stark, of course I have my suit. You gave it back to me, remember? No, not that one, kid. A formal suit. And a tie. And good shoes. And a watch. You're not an Avenger just yet, kid. But I still want you there. The last formal suit I wore was to my uncle's funeral. Jesus, kid. Sorry. Don't be sorry. I guess we're gonna need to get you fitted. You need anything else? Shoes, tie, watch? I have a watch. Kid, if you show up with the cheapest watch imaginable, I'm gonna buy you an entire new wardrobe. And I'll fill it with Iron Man merch. It's the only physical thing I have from before Ben and May. It's handmade, I think. Oh, sorry. Of course you can wear sentimental items without judgment, no matter where it came from or how much it cost. Thanks, Mr. Stark. Of course, Rue. Send me your measurements. I'll get you the rest of the outfit. What color is it? I'll make sure everything matches. Gold. Bye, Mr. Stark. Goodbye, Peter. The clothes arrived 2 days later. They fit perfectly, and probably cost more than May's apartment. Peter tried not to think about that as he dressed for the celebration. May, I'm gonna need help tying this tie. Coming, give me a sec. May rushed in and helped him tie the tie that matched his watch perfectly. Peter ran his finger over the engraving that he could never make sense of. There, don't you look handsome? Don't bring home a lady. May, I'll be there to support the Avengers, not attempt to flirt with anyone. Yeah. Do a spin so I can see the back. Peter spun, feeling like one of those poofy dogs at the dog shows. Oh, honey, are you wearing your watch? Yeah. Makes me feel closer to them, you know? Yeah, I do. May looked at the clock on the wall. Oh, Happy's probably been waiting. Off you go. Have fun. Love you. Love you too, May. See you in a few hours. Peter nervously walked up the steps to the massive party. The doorman stopped him. Kid, this is a private event happening right now. VIP only. Come back another day. I should be on the list. Peter Parker? Kid, Peter Parker is one of the highest-ranking officials on the list. The +1 to Tony Stark himself. You're gonna need a more plausible name if you want to get in. Pete, there you are. Tony walked up to the door. What are you doing out here? Well, The doorman cut him off. I'm very sorry, sir. This young man was trying to get into a VIP party by claiming he was Peter Parker. You're +1. Don't worry, I'm not that stupid. It appears you are, in fact, that stupid. Because this is my +1. See? We even match suits. Peter only then looked at what Tony was wearing. A black suit in the same style, a golden tie, and even a similar golden watch. Peter squinted at it. Tony turned away before he could get a closer look. Come on, Pete. We have a party to attend. Here. Tony stuck a post-it note to Peter's forehead that said, Peter Parker, under 21, do not serve alcohol or caffeine. He gets crazy. Peter rolled his eyes, plucked it off his forehead, and stuck it in his front pocket. Thanks, Mr. Stark. Sarcasm dripped from his voice. Any time, Rue. Peter inspected Tony's watch as they walked through the maze of hallways to get to the main room. As they stepped inside, people immediately swarmed Tony, leaving Peter to wander the party. 2 hours and 6 speeches later, Peter finally meets up with Tony again. Hey, Mr. Stark, how'd it go? I think it went pretty well. What do you think? I think it was awesome. Solid 9.75 out of 10. Your second best speech of all time. And what was my best speech? You only said 4 words. I am Iron Man. Third is probably the Stark Expo of 2010. Battling killer drones is my kind of speech. Sure, kid. You're lucky you weren't there. But I was, Mr. Stark. I wore an Iron Man helmet and helped you fight the drones. Tony felt faint. He fell into a chair from a nearby table. Kid, tell me that wasn't you. Please. What? That was one of the best days of my life. You said, nice work, kid, and we shot a drone together. Tony watched his head drop on the table. You're gonna kill me one day. I have a heart condition. It's only a matter of time. Tony tapped his watch. Oh, that reminds me. How did you manage to match me so perfectly? Kid, I bought the suits. That's why we match. Yeah, but you must be a mind reader or something, 'cause you matched the watches too. All I told you was that it was gold. What? Tony breathed. Yeah, they're like exactly the same. See? He pointed to the engraving at Tony. P.A.S, made of iron. I've always wondered what that meant, 'cause obviously it's not made of iron. Stark men are made of iron, what my father always said. If Tony felt faint before, this was closer to a heart attack. Huh. I wonder why that ended up on my watch. And what about the other letters? Tony blinked. He took a deep breath and slid his watch off his wrist to show to Peter.
A.E.S. Anthony Edward Stark.
Tony ran his thumb over the engraving he never thought he'd see again.
P.A.S. Peter Anthony Stark. I made that watch 15 years ago for my son.
He pressed 2 hidden buttons on either side of the face.
Hello, boss. Peter. How may I be of service? Jarvis.
Tony breathed, tears burning behind his eyes.
Can you confirm that the young man wearing the watch is Peter Stark?
Yes, sir. Jarvis paused, and the watch whirred quietly.
Biometric scans complete. Peter Parker is Peter Stark. I have information like tracking and recorded conversations of Hydra agents. Not now, Jarvis. Maybe later.
Peter's expression had changed from confusion to shock, interest, disbelief, and finally to pure, unbridled joy.
What?
Tony looked down at Peter with tears in his eyes.
Peter, I am your father.
Peter swatted a hand at Tony's shoulder.
The quote is actually, "No, I am your father, Mr. Stark." Your reference is right.
Tony smiled.
For the record, you've been my dad for a while, biologically or not. Yeah, and you've been my son. Also, this solves my internal struggle with if I'm replacing my dead son with another Peter. No more moral dilemma. Only you, Mr. Dad. Mr. Dad. Am I ever going to get you to call me something normal? I'm just getting used to it. Would you prefer Anakin over Anthony? Call me Darth Dad. Okay, Darth Dad. Wanna go home? I have a feeling this is going to be trending for years.
Peter glanced around at the, for once, silent reporters who were huddled around filming every second.
Oh, yeah, sorry, kid. You're gonna have to get used to that.
Peter looked up at his dad.
Worth it.
And that is all for this podfic. I really like this fic because one, it does such like a nice job at combining like 2 common things like Hydra, Peter Parker, and Peter Parker is actually Tony Stark's kidnapped biological child. I love both of those like tropes / tags, whatever. Those are both very fun, and this just blends it wonderfully. And just also, it is just a well-written fic, and somehow, once again, I somehow forgot that I chose a fic to podfic that had singing. Literally, my brain did just memory is 2 seconds long. As I commonly say, I have the memory of a brain-damaged earthworm. But no, yeah. I really like this fic, and that's why I asked for permission to podfic it. So that wasn't gonna fucking stop me from podficking it. Even though extra challenge, the lyrics of the song were actually written by the author of this fic, so they're original. But it's just kind of lyrics. I'm not sure if they came up with a tune or anything and has that somewhere, but I didn't find that or anything. So I had to kind of come up with the tune for the lyrics, and me in my hubris was just like, I'll just throw whatever my brain comes up with together. It'll be quick, no more than an hour. Cut to me. What was it, 4 hours later on the first go through, and I'm sitting there in the dark
with the freaking like application up with actual like song melody on piano, like online kind of thing. And I'm like, I've gotten all the the melody out and I've got it on pianos, but I'm having a good time with this. How do I get three like different people singing at once? I should probably like harmonize it or something. I don't know how to do that. Maybe I should shift it into multiple different keys. Oh, these are different than the original key that I was like singing it in. Maybe I should just like do an extra version that's the original. And I already got the piano keys up here. Let me just like duplicate this and maybe we can shift it into more instruments. It's like, what else can I do? Oh, it's 1 a.m. I haven't even tried recording the singing for this. It's fine. Anyway, so yeah, that ended up being a whole kind of musical journey, but I don't make music. I play music sometimes, but I do not make it. But I don't know, I was in like a music mood for a week or two and the demons overtook me, so that happened and you got that. And I did end up putting together I sang it also in the original key and put that in with the duplicated piano thing. So I thought I'd just include that at the end as well, because I did spend a lot of time on it. It's just something about spending time with the lyrics to the song that they wrote and trying to put it together. It gave me a lot more, like, I don't know, I wouldn't say appreciation for the fic, but it definitely, I think it enhanced the experience for me just sitting with that, and I felt like it. Why not? So yeah, did that. I'm gonna just like include it at the end, so stick around if you want to hear that. And on AO3, I'm also just gonna have it as like a separate, MP3 that you can listen to if you want to, with no pressure or anything. This is just included at the end because I really like this fic, and this, me putting together this with a bit more effort than I definitely needed to, is more of me showing appreciation for this fic on top of the podfic that I made. But anyway, I hope you guys liked this fic. As always, link to the fic is in the description. Go leave a kudos, go leave a comment, whatever you can. I am sure the original author appreciates it. Anyway, that is all for this time. I will see you guys next time. Bye! Come cuddle in, snuggle close, my dear. It's okay, it's alright. Winter's almost here. Darkness and